Boracay online looks absolutely perfect, but is it worth coming?
Yes, the water really is that blue and the sand is actually that white, but it's also way more crowded than I expected and more expensive than people talk about. So the real question is, does it still feel like paradise when you're actually here? Right now, I'm at White Beach, the most famous stretch on the whole island. I'm going to show you what's amazing, what's overrated, and exactly what it costs. And at the end, I'll give you my honest verdict on whether Boracay is still worth it in 2026, and who should probably skip it.
I'm currently walking along White Beach here on Boracay. I arrived actually a few days ago, but I have just been kind of relaxing the past few days and getting some rest. The place is interesting, it's really, really cool. So I arrived on a flight from Manila, actually. The airport is just over there on that island. That island is much bigger, it's called Panay Island. The airport is literally just the other side of the water. You have to take a boat to come over here to Boracay. It takes only around 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes in total, because you have to take a bus from the airport to the port, get the boat over here to Boracay, and it drops you just down there at the south of the island. And then you need to get to your accommodation. So this is White Beach, often ranked one of the most beautiful beaches in Southeast Asia. Crystal clear water, but the beach itself actually is not too wide. You have all of these shops along here, restaurants, bars, and everything as well. And it's only 8 a.m. currently, so you can see how busy and crowded it gets, which is why I actually came out early this morning, trying to avoid the crowds, but there are a lot of people here and a lot of tourists as well. So Boracay is actually only 7 kilometers long. Straight up that way is the north of the island, where you can do some hiking as well. But down here on the south, it's pretty nice and flat, pretty quiet. So this beach or the island is actually broken up into 3 different stations. This is station number 3, which is in the south, and then it goes station 2 and then station 1, which is further north. I'm not really sure why it is like that. I guess it's just for ease, because it's so small and only being 7 kilometers long, it's easier to kind of break it up and figure out where you are as well. So for obvious reasons, people are drawn here for this, the beach. Today it's actually really nice. The water is clear, it's warm-ish. Once you get in, it's warm anyway. But the past few days, it's been bright green from a lot of like algae and seaweed just coming in here, which hasn't been too nice, especially to swim, and also it does smell a little bit as well. The beach is the main reason why people are drawn and they come to Boracay. I've noticed that it's actually mostly families that come, which is really nice. It gives it a kind of really relaxed, chilled out atmosphere on the island. There is places where you can go party and stuff as well, and there are people that do that, but for the most part I've noticed that it's really only foreign families and Filipino families who come, which is good to see actually, because the flight from Manila is only 30 minutes and it's really cheap as well. I think I spent around $50 return to go back to Manila, where I'm going back tomorrow as well. So it's affordable for everybody. The prices of accommodation can range a lot. You can spend $30 a night, you can spend $300 a night, but it's just like anywhere, like any other beach destination in the world. But this is one of the most famous beach destinations in Southeast Asia. However, it's not the cheapest beach destination I've ever been to. For Philippines prices, it is pretty expensive. You need to think maybe between $5 and $10 for a meal plus a drink, which may not sound like a lot, but if you are Filipino coming here on vacation, yeah, that adds up extremely quickly as well. There are cheaper places to eat, but especially along here on the beach, it does get pricier, but you also pay for the view, which of course is worth it for many people. I've eaten down on the beach, actually most nights since coming. Before coming, honestly, this is exactly what I expected. beautiful beaches, packed beaches, and beautiful places to eat, to relax, and everything else. You can do water sports, you can go diving, you can just chill if you want. But yeah, this is it. It matches expectations, and the beach, especially not now, but yesterday and the day before it rained, the beaches were perfectly blue. I'll stick a photo on top of this that I took when I arrived. The beaches were perfectly blue. The water was beautiful, but now it's not the best, especially after the arrival of the algae and the rain. So there is actually a ton of tourism here. I would say it's a good mix between locals and foreigners. There are a lot of Filipino families here who bring their kids, which is pretty cool, to be honest. Not a lot of places are like that, especially when they get Instagram famous. They're just full with foreigners, but here it's nice to see that the people are proud of where they come from and their own country as well, taking a holiday in their own country. And because of the amount of tourism that this place gets, in I think it was 2018, the island actually completely shut down for a number of months, which is quite a while, considering if you have a business or something on the island, everything shut down. And that was to basically clean the place up and kind of get it ready for more tourism and have better infrastructure, better sewage systems, better everything, basically an upgrade of the island. I think somebody in the Filipino government called it a cesspit before 2018 because it was just too crowded, way too many people coming, didn't have the infrastructure ready for it, for the mass tourism, and it kind of destroyed it and destroyed the ecosystem around it as well. Of course, you have all the coral reefs and everything. So they closed it for a few months, I think around 6 months, I believe, to give it some upgrades. But now I think it's great. The infrastructure is there, the roads are good. I mean, there is one main road going through the island, but the roads are okay. The beaches are clean, the water is clean, apart from the algae, but you can't really do anything about that. And it seems to have worked, to be honest. I think now the island can accommodate maybe 6,000 or 7,000 tourists a day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the tiny, tiny space that this place is, it can get extremely crowded, which is one of the major drawbacks, I would say, of the place, especially along here on the beach and the row of shops and everything behind me. Trying to find a place to eat, or even just trying to walk down the street, it can be a little bit difficult. But it's okay. I mean, it's crowded, but it doesn't seem hectic. It seems about as busy it can get before it would become too much. But even now, as I said, it's 8 o'clock in the morning and the beach is getting pretty full. You've got people in the water, people doing water sports, just relaxing, sunbathing and taking in the sun before it gets too hot. Which it does get too hot in the daytime and the sun is extremely strong, which I learned yesterday. I'm getting sunburned after only 1 hour on the beach. So you need to be careful, but it's a beautiful place, so it's worth it. And honestly, all of the crowds kind of lowers the experience that you would get here. I mean, it doesn't ruin it, but I would say that, I mean, it's expected, right? You come to a busy paradise island, world famous, you expect it to be busy. But I think they've managed it quite well by allowing only a certain amount of people on the island per day. Obviously, there's only a certain amount of accommodation as well. And you can't really day trip here because you would have to fly and then take the boat from the airport over there. So it's mainly only people that will come for the weekend or for a week on holiday. So I think it's managed pretty well. It doesn't feel overcrowded. It just feels busy enough, which is a little bit annoying, but very much expected, so you can't really complain about it too much. Another huge drawback, I would say, is all of these shops and everything along here. Of course, the vendors are trying to make money, which is completely understandable. But it does get so annoying being offered a massage every 30 seconds on the street. If not a massage, it's scuba diving. If not scuba diving, it's to buy something in their store. And I get it, it makes sense. But my hotel is 2 seconds away, just off the beach. So I literally have to walk down here. I mean, no complaints, it's beautiful. Walk down here many times a day. And it's annoying. It gets on my nerves. I mean, it's not a huge complaint. And I get it, they're just doing business. Everybody has to survive, and that's their business. But when the same people ask you the same thing 57 times per day, it can get a little bit annoying. That, I would say, is the worst thing about the island. But yet again, people need to do business, and look, it's beautiful. Right, just got back to the hotel after the walk on the beach. Honest verdict, is Boracay overrated? No, I think it's perfectly rated. If you want a tropical island feel, beach resort kind of family getaway, it's absolutely perfect. The beaches are great. The local Filipino people are fantastic. The food you can get along the beach is also of very good quality as well, even though of course everything is imported onto the island. If you want like a quiet, private beach getaway, don't come. Go somewhere else. Go to the Maldives and spend thousands of dollars per night or something like that. But it is crowded, but it's not super busy, you know. Most of the people here are families on holiday, enjoying themselves, playing at the beach with the kids, relaxing, drinking, doing whatever they like. However, it is one of, if not probably the most expensive beach holiday you can get in the Philippines. Maybe in Southeast Asia, I'm not sure. It's not really expensive compared to Western standards, but compared to Filipino standards, it is expensive. You'll pay $5, $10 for a meal. It depends on what you have and what you eat, and also where you eat as well. If you eat at the beachfront, yeah, it's going to be expensive, but you pay for the view. You pay for being here, and in my opinion, it's totally worth it. You pay for the beauty, you pay for the convenience of the location, and it's worth it. So no, it's not overrated. It perfectly fits your expectations or my expectations before I came. If you know what to expect, you won't be disappointed. But if you're expecting something quiet, private getaway, it's not like that. It is busy. It is chaotic sometimes. But totally worth it.